Hello and welcome to Motorsport. This is the second date of our summer fling. We're going for a hot city escape in Salvador. Kamsam with a still brutal 1.2 second lead over Orange Boy, and then Titia, Leclerc, Khaled Step, Debug already close, and then Garrett and Pink Kush taking up the back of the field as we start the race. Engines going, smoke going from the old tyres. Side-by-side action for the front two. I think that's the teammates of TTR and Orange, and that's Pink Kush. Oh, getting spat out into the wall. Garrett there. And then Pink Kush already 10 seconds behind the leaders into turn one. Here we go, let's see what we can do from here. Kamsam already 1.8 second leads. Leading away the field, TTR, Killer Disturbed, and Debug all side by side as they enter the hairpin at the end of one straight. If you look at the track map, it's like a big U. Got two great hairpins followed by a couple of chicanes through the twisty bits with the big curves. And here we go, you can see these cars getting super squirrely as we're back on board with Orange, who's trying to regain himself after being spat out into the wall. Side-by-side action as we see him scraping down the wall. Remember, there's no damage here. Into the hairpin at the other end of the... Oh, someone locks up there. Who was that? I think that was Leclerc. And Orange holding onto the back of this field. Back of this group. You can see them, how tightly bunched they are. The guy's starting to come in there. The other guys, Garrett, O'Brien and Leclerc, starting to gain a little bit back now. This car's so difficult to do round long radius corners at high speed. The downforce is non-existent, so you've got to get the slip angle all from driving skill. We got a spinner. That is Orange. TTR inherits second. Debug up to third. Killer Disturbed in fourth. TTR is holding on. He's trying to keep with Kamsam. 3 seconds though in 2 laps is not a good sign. As Garrett O'Brien slowly making his way back after a bit of contact in the first corner. And scraping the barriers. There's no damage here in the summer fling. It's a very casual summer series. Just some 20-minute sprints. Down into the hairpin. This is the tightest corner, slowest speeds. As they go again. Here we go, through that chicane. You can see the cars jumping over the barriers. Over the curb, heading towards the barriers. Debug leading the rest of the field. There we go. Through the long radius left-hander that leads them up towards the first big stopping point on the track. As we're on board with Orange, who's trying to recover himself. Braking late. We're getting right behind Leclerc then as we go back on board with Killer Disturbed, who's right tucked up underneath Debug's gearbox. There they go. They've got chicane coming up on the left. Brake hard, turn in. You can touch the first curve, but the second curve might spit you straight into that wall. There is no protection there as you see some sparks. And Killer Disturbed not finding the time he needs on Debug there. As we see more sparks from Garrett, that isn't the best way, and in the back, I think that's Leclerc inside the wall. A bit of clipping going on. Killer Disturbed. Look at that nice tight line he had. I don't know if that was faster or not. As we come across, where is he, about just under a second? So it's not bad. He held his own a little bit. Orange takes the first one, cuts the second one completely, and jumps over the third chicane there, making best use of the straight line and not having to steer. As Garrett O'Brien just clips the wall, and that's all that Orange needs as he goes into the braking zone. Forces Garrett out wide, takes the racing line. That was a great overtake. He leads out of the corner. Garrett isn't giving up yet. He's still thinking about it. He's having a tighter line. As you got Leclerc just hovering in the background. Orange takes the tighter line. Garrett comes in for the over-under. Can't quite make it work. Now they got a long, slow left-hander as it leads them all the way down to the chicane in the middle of the track. Brake hard. Look at Garrett getting the car sideways. Almost love tap there in the Summer Fling Series for Garrett onto Orange, but it seems to push Orange along rather than slow him down. Stick him out. He's lost a bit of time. He's now on board. We're in the battle for the podium. Killer disturbed. And Debug goes super wide and loses it. Will he carry some speed on the way out, though? Oh, he's hoping no. He's going to have to give up that spot there to Killer Disturb. That was his own fault there. Maybe undercoming a little bit of pressure. Debug seemingly enjoying these cars. Saying he's liking the feel of them. Getting used to them is what everyone is having to do. Killer Disturb just flicks the back out a little bit along with Garrett O'Brien, and one way was how you did it and the other way was how you don't do it. And look at the size of these curves, no wonder. Just get a bit too close and the whole car is pitched and tilted off into oblivion, and they're already at the limit anyway. He's trying to make a spot. Who was that? Just parked on the side. I feel like that might have been a disconnect. That is not usual. Or maybe someone just happened to respawn. Was that? Who was that? Might have been TTAR there. So look, he was in second a moment ago, and now he's all the way back as he scrapes the wall. I'm not sure it's quite the slingshot people think it is. In the 205 car there, down now 16 seconds behind. Smashes into the back of, I think that was Leclerc. I can't tell though. And TTR back now down to 6th, 7th. Oh, not the way he would have wanted his race to go in the Summer Fling Series. So let's go through lap 6. Comes some ahead of Debug. 15 seconds as we got a spin in the back. That is TTR again. I think those rear tyres have had it. They're overheated to the max. So it's Kumsum ahead of Debug, ahead of Killer Disturbed. Orange made his way back up to 4th. Leclerc up to 5th. Pink Kush 5th. Garrett O'Brien 7th. And TTR back down in 8th after that second spin that we managed to see. Here we go. Leclerc 5th place. And the gorgeous wine red and white Formula Junior here. Car 55, Killer Disturbed, 16 seconds behind the leader, but it's only less than 1 second behind Debug, and that's all he needs to stay in touch here for his second place. Kumsum seemingly having this wrapped up in the first and second races here already. Pink Kush here, making his mark on Garrett, maybe goes in a little deep there, slow off the exit. Let's go through, hop one curb, hop the other. That was a great way of doing it, Killer Disturbed. Nice and neat, didn't upset the car too much. Same there with Leclerc and Pink Kush. And get the car out wide so that you can slide it through this long left-hander. There we go. Into the medium speed corner, left-hander. There's a very rare right-hander. There we go. Gets the car sideways, Killer Disturbed, gets it pointed in the right direction, puts down the traction. Yeah, and another long left-hander coming up towards the chicane in the middle of the track. Brake hard, steer in, touch the first curb. Try and ignore the seconds. Get on the power as early as you dare. Not hit the wall, straight line it. Come out on top. Not quite. It's about half a second now between them. And this is as close as it gets right now. And you can see in the track map how much of a lead Kamsam has. As Killer Disturb brakes. He's done it again. He stays nice and easy. Debug and Killer Disturbed really close here. And it seems to be mistakes costing them. And maybe a little bit of pressure. That was great from Killer Disturbed. He's made up the inside. Debug giving him lots of space. Way too much space there. And clips the wall on the outside. We saw Garrett do that earlier. Outsips the car. Brake hard. Get it rotated. Follow the dark parts of the road. Throttle down on exit. Hold it down all the way. As you go around this right-hander towards the next heavy braking zone. The first real hairpin on the track. Don't touch. Yeah, oh, you see him just touch the curb there and get spat out wide. That will cost him. Killer Disturbed. That was not the way to do it. Just that fraction of accuracy lost there. And you can see Debug is right back on his tail. Brake for the chicane in the middle of the track. You can touch the first curb, remember. Can't touch the seconds. And you can see everyone struggling here to get the line right. As they go through, Debug hounding him again. Is he going to touch the wall? No, he doesn't. He just uses all the track. That looked perfect to me. Car 33, Debug hounding him. Brake early, remember. Don't go wide like he did when you lost the position. Oh, a little bit of understeer. Didn't get the rotation in the car. Gap opening up just under a second now. And in the background, you can see Orange trying to catch, Leclerc trying to catch, and Pink Kush trying to catch them as Killer Disturbed taking all the curb and more. Let's have a look at the lap times. 24 for Kamsam. Killer Disturbed in the 26s, 27s look average for the whole rest of the field. TTR in the 25.9. So what could have happened if he didn't overheat the tyres and spin it? And look at this, Pink Kush now starting to find that pace. 26.1 compared to 26.4 for Leclerc in front. Very tricky track though, so you've got to make the time up under braking, but if you do it too late, that's what happens. Lock up, you go wide, and you lose more time than you could ever imagine. Takes a narrow line in, cut the curb, he doesn't. Keeps it nice and tidy. He's back on board for this battle for second position. Where is the podium going to be? Looks like Killer Disturbed just holding onto the pressure just a little bit better than Debug here. But Debug's still applying the pressure. Brake hard. Someone snatched a brake there. I think that was Orange. And oh, he goes round. Oh, the other two, Pinkish and Leclerc, managed to avoid him there. As they come back down to the chicane, that starts the lap. It's a little left, right, left. Back out, go for a medium speed corner. You will need to brake here. Just get the weight onto the front axle. Let the rear just slip a little bit. Don't lose traction too much. Hold the driver in sight, but don't aim for them. Aim for the gap next to them if you've got anywhere to go. Brake hard. Here's your first hairpin. Nice tight line there from Pinkish. That's all the invitation he needed. Leclerc gives him space on the exit. Still side by side. Will Pinkish's inside line give him the benefit here into the braking? He does. He's got to brake a little bit harder. Takes a little bit more of the curb. And he scrapes on the exit. That will cost him. That will cost him. And now the field's starting to spread out. First place, Kamsam, 26 seconds after 11 laps. That is brutal, everyone. That is brutal. Finally showing all the speed and graces we've seen before from Kamsam. Really hooking it up this season so far in the Summer Fling. Oh yeah. Look at that beautiful blue. Debug's 33 Formula Junior coming around the left-hander. Lining himself up. Brake hard. Medium speed corner. You can see the flames popping out. Apex nice and tight. Look at that. Straightens up for the exit. No sliding. That's the way you start to claw back gaps. These two locked in, but in the background, Pink Kush starting to catch them. Oh no, Debug, you gone wide again. Pink Kush with a 26.3. That is quick. That is on pace with TTAR in the field at the back. 46 seconds behind the lead. Debug here takes the first curb, misses the second. Will he scrape the wall? We can't see it. Gets the car pointed straight. Maybe steering a little bit too much on exit, but trying to bring the car round for this long right-hander that takes everything out of the tyres. Down into the hairpin. Brakes late. Oh, kept it nice and tight. Look at that. On the exit. Oh, I think someone stalled. You can hear an engine just start to go a little bit low. Debug. They go through the chicane side by side. Gives him lots of space. And he gets the final chicane right. That gives him all the strength he needs to come out on top. Thank you very much. Second place. I will take that lap 12. Coming up into the last quarter of this race right now. Just 20-minute races here. Kamsam leading ahead of Debug. He's managed to regain second position ahead of Disturbed. Big cushion fourth, starting to catch now with Leclerc just behind him. As Disturbed goes wide, bounces off the barrier. That doesn't seem to harm him too much. As we go back to the end of the field, 48 seconds behind the leaders. This is Garrett O'Brien in the number 9 car, being hounded by TTR in the car. Oh, similar colour. 205, I think that is. Scraping the wall. As that is, who is that? It's Pink Kush going wide, but holding on to it. He's going wide. That's going to cost him. That's cost him big time. Leclerc thinking about it. P5 coming up to P4. It's all going to happen in the braking zone down into this hairpin. It is done. Oh, has he given too much space? I think he has. Yeah, and we can see on the timing board now Pink Kush back up into 4th place. He's really looking for that podium though. If you look at them on the map, wow. 2nd and 3rd inseparable. 4th and 5th inseparable. 6th, who's that? That's Orange on a lonely 6th place there. As TTR has gotten past Garrett. We didn't see it on camera. That is your top 8 right now. And the 104 Leclerc. He's got the pace. The field's slowing down. Even Kamsam out from the 24s into the 25s. So these tyres are starting to overheat. What a great line from Killer Disturbed. Oh, bouncing off Debug, taking no prisoners. And the side-by-side, what action these guys have driven for us today. Killer Disturbed didn't quite make the argy-bargy move work. Debug goes scraping up against the wall. These open wheel cars are so tricky to drive. If you want to think of them somewhere between a Caterham and a go-kart, it's about what you got. Lots of power and no grip. Braking on the outside, Killer Disturbed. Oh, it's Debug. He's making a habit of that and it's costing him so much. And now the 3rd spot, or 2nd spot, is under fire with 4 drivers here. Killer Disturbed followed by Debug, Pink Kush and Leclerc. This is the battle as they just start to think of track limits as suggestions. This isn't NASCAR, folks. This is Formula Junior in the Summer Fling of Mutiny Motorsport. Brake hard. Debug now down into 4th. Those front tyres look like they've had a bit of a workout with the understeer as Garrett O'Brien gets back past TTR, it looks like, or TTR taking the wide line that we just saw. Look at the car go sideways. Exit of that corner. Those rear tyres must be screaming by now. Brake hard, rotate the car, don't spin up the rear wheels too much on power. And both Garrett and TTR starting. Let's play around in the back there. Killer Disturb now getting a great little gap between him and the rest of this little gaggle. Starting to open up. Debug looking like he's falling backwards now into the clutches of Leclerc. Leclerc trying to go around the outside, holds his foot down. You can see the car bouncing around as it does not want to grip. And then I think that's going to be easy for Leclerc as Debug makes his way into the wall. Brake hard, Debug submits. Oh, he's only going backwards. This isn't what he wanted, but he isn't going to give up, it doesn't look like. It's come some lap 15. As we come into the last few minutes of racing here, 38 seconds. This is a level of dominance we haven't seen since Peter in season 10 and before. If you've watched any of our old races, Peter has been dominant, but he is not here. It is Kamsam who has taken that mantle right now. Killer Disturbed in second, got a bit of a gap now. That's about a second and a bit. Pinkish, Leclerc still fighting their way. They've done a good job to not lose speed and fight their way through here. If we keep going backwards, we've got Debug in fifth, falling down his grace. Orange in sixth, Garrett O'Brien in seventh, and TTR all the way back in eighth place. About a second behind Garrett now. You can see actually Killer Disturb's lead is starting to fade a little bit. They're catching him. I feel like Pinkish and Leclerc, even though they've had some battles, have kept it swift, and that has helped them. And now it's all guns blazing as we see. Oh, Leclerc dive bomb with a huge lockup. Oh, and they go on top of each other. No, it was bound to have happened. Oh, as we see Orange there in the background. Looking at that guy. Oh, I'll have some of that, thank you very much. And look at how much curb Orange is taking in the background there. And that was Debug's lucky day as he's got back up into the podium at third place. And that was it. That was the race. Comes some Killer Disturbed. Debug, Leclerc, Pinkish, Orange, and then it's TTR and Garrett as they go across the line. TTR gets the position. And here we go. Comes some in the lead. 124. Fastest lap. Killer Disturbed. Debug getting lucky there with Pinkish and Leclerc. Fifth and fourth. Getting a tangle right at the end. And then Orange in sixth. TTR managed to grab seventh place. And then the championship standings, Kamsam leading 36 points, 2 wins, 2 fastest laps, 2 poles. Debug, Killer Disturbed, tight championship battle there. Leclerc and Pinkish 17 each, Orange 14th, and then Garrett and the TTR 11 points each. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We will have 4 more of these great summer flings to bring to you. Stay tuned.